Nobody expected the humans to survive past orientation. When the Galactic Federation opened its Extreme Survival Classroom 101 to species from across the stars, humans, from the so-called Deathworld, were considered a joke entry. Their planet was infamous, full of violent weather, aggressive wildlife, microbial hazards, and an evolutionary history soaked in struggle. To most alien scholars, Earthlings were resilient by accident, not design. So when they stepped off the transport shuttle, grinning, cracked jokes flying, eyes scanning every inch of the deadly jungle simulator, the instructors began placing bets on how long before the screaming started. But the humans didn't scream. They built. They hunted. They treated venomous insects like playthings and drank purified swamp water after rigging up a filter from nothing but sand, leaves, and a boot sole. On day 1, where other species had already logged emergency distress calls, humans were roasting, root vegetables over open flames, arguing about spice levels. The alien observers stared in silence, notes forgotten. Something wasn't right. These weren't survivors. These were students having fun. By day 3, the survival instructors began to panic. Not because the humans were in danger, but because they weren't. Most other species had formed alliances, curled into camps, or requested extraction after encountering genetically engineered apex predators. A few had even gone missing entirely, leaving only scraps of synthetic armor and scattered trail markers. But the humans? They had named one of the predators Fluffy. Fluffy was a 6-legged, acid-spitting jungle beast with bioluminescent eyes and a scream that curdled blood. And yet, a 19-year-old human named Danny had not only tamed it, but taught it to fetch sticks. When confronted by a horrified instructor, she simply shrugged and said, "Back home, raccoons are worse." The alien races had never seen anything like it. Every hardship the simulation threw at the humans seemed to amuse them. Flesh-melting rain. They made umbrellas out of predator hides. Sudden sinkholes. They used vines to create swinging bridges within an hour. A food shortage? They located edible fungi that even the simulation's designers had forgotten they coded in. And then, as if the situation wasn't already baffling enough, the humans began sharing their supplies with struggling alien teams, fixing shelters, patching wounds, even cracking jokes mid-storm. One of the senior instructors, a crustacean-like being named Veltok, filed a formal complaint to the Federation Committee. These creatures are not obeying the psychological progression of fear, isolation, or despair. They are thriving. Worse, they are teaching others to thrive. Word spread fast across the galaxy. The humans had become a sensation. Live feeds of the survival trials were being broadcast across hundreds of systems, and Team Deathworld had become a favorite in every betting pool. Merchants on the Interstellar network sold t-shirts that read, "Extreme Survival, Hold My Beer." Back in the field, the humans were only getting started. One group built a rain harvesting system that could power a radio transmitter, and another domesticated the local scavenger lizards for food and delivery services. Their leader, a middle-aged ex-firefighter named Mateo, led nightly debriefs around the fire, where the humans swapped stories, shared strategies, and kept morale so high that even nearby alien teams began gravitating to their camp. That's when the Federation decided to crank things up. The environment was set to level Omega: electromagnetic storms, terrain shifts, hallucination-inducing spores, and the release of a genetically revived apex predator known only as the Maw. This creature was designed to instill pure terror. Towering, armored, capable of rendering shields useless, and psychologically engineered to trigger primal fear in most sapient beings. But humans weren't most beings. When the Maw tore through the jungle on day 5, scattering groups in every direction, the Federation expected humans to flee or freeze. Instead, they regrouped, calmly, efficiently, using hand signals, bait, and old earth. Military tactics, they led the Maw into a gorge and buried it under an avalanche. No weapons, no energy fields, just rocks, teamwork, and good timing. You can't simulate that kind of instinct, Veltok muttered while reviewing the footage in stunned silence. They've evolved beyond what the classroom was meant to test. For the humans, it wasn't about showing off. They didn't even realize they were being watched so closely. To them, it was just another challenge, another campfire story in the making. And when the skies cleared and the last challenge ended, the humans stood dirty, bruised, laughing, and completely intact. Not one fatality, not one dropout. They had even gained a few alien followers who refused to leave their side. In the debriefing chamber aboard the Federation's orbiting station, the committee asked Matteo the question on everyone's mind. How did your people succeed where others failed? Matteo scratched his beard and replied, We're from Earth. We've had to survive each other. Nature's easy. The room fell silent. Then one of the committee members, a psychic mollusk from Sector 9, whispered, I think we've been studying the wrong species all along. The Federation didn't know what to do with the humans after their flawless performance. Awarding them top marks felt insufficient, and assigning them to teach future classes felt dangerous. Instead, they were given temporary observer status while the committee scrambled for answers, but humans being humans, they didn't wait around politely. Within days, they'd modified the classroom's simulation protocols, patched the security loopholes no one else had even noticed, and created an underground challenge league where alien students could voluntarily face Earth-style survival, trials for training. What began as a joke turned into a full movement, and soon other species were lining up to learn from the Deathworlders, some out of curiosity, others out of raw desperation. Matteo's team now roamed freely between simulations, acting as unofficial instructors, but there was something else stirring beneath the surface, a growing fear among the higher-ups. Because if these humans, these laughing, resourceful, unkillable creatures, were what Earth produced naturally, what would happen when they finally started trying? Rumors began spreading across the Federation's inner circles, quiet whispers that Earth wasn't just a death world, but a cradle for a new kind of apex intelligence, one that didn't rely on genetic superiority or technological dominance, but on adaptability, unpredictability, and raw, terrifying willpower. Back on the surface, alien instructors continued observing the humans, but something had shifted. Now it was the instructors taking notes and the students asking questions. One day, during an advanced terrain inversion drill, a synthetic volcano erupted prematurely due to a glitch, trapping several participants beneath molten debris. Before the emergency protocols could engage, the humans had already coordinated a rescue, neutralized the hazard, and administered first aid using improvised tools and calm urgency. When asked how they responded so fast, one woman simply said, "This isn't chaos, it's Tuesday." That phrase went viral, printed on walls of survival facilities galaxy-wide. Federation Command, once confident in its superiority, now watched with unease as even its elite operatives sought training from the Earth team. In trying to test humanity, they had uncovered something far more dangerous than failure: competence without limits.